taking time out today to talk to Paul Fletcher. Paul's been involved with Quest Baits since the very beginning, in fact I dare say probably even before the beginning. Well known as a carp angler, but also fishes for other species as well, and that's really what I want to talk to you about. So tell us, Paul, what other species do you fish for?
Sure, yeah, I mean, as you say, I've been involved in Quest Baits from, I say day one, but probably even before that in helping and developing, testing the baits, very fortunate. And one of the things I found is that, you know, with the fantastic baits we've got on offer now, particularly from carp fishing, is there's absolutely no reason why we can't reap the benefits of those in general coarse fishing, and particularly chasing those bigger specimens.
What sort of specimens are you actually looking at then? What other fish do you fish for?
Yeah, sure. I mean, although I do spend a little bit of time on carp and go to France, you know, 1 week a year and a few trips in there, I do like chasing, you know, the barbel and the chub on the rivers, on the Villains River, the Upper Trent, and also on the Dove. Plus also I'm fortunate, I'm in a couple of syndicates and one with a fantastic estate lake that's full of tench, you know, some big tench, big bream, together with the carp as well.
So I know now more or less which fish you're fishing for. What I'd really like you to do is concentrate and try and tell us a few of the tactics that you use when you're actually after those fish.
Yeah, I mean, anybody who knows me knows that I keep things as simple as possible and prefer to stick to the age-old principles of finding the fish and then making sure that you've got the best possible bait and bait you're confident in to present to them. With my barbel fishing, which is the fishing I really do love and I'm passionate about, I keep things simple. I'll tend to use in the summer a grind bait feeder with plugs of ground bait either side, like a sandwich effect, and the pellets, the maximum action pellets in the middle. And the beauty about those pellets is I can get them and match them to the boilie I've got on the hook as well, and in some cases the paste that I use in the summer. So it's a great way of fishing because you've got the best up-to-date baits for the fish, and it's just down to me to make sure I put it in the right place.
We talked about the barbel then. What about the other species that you're also after?
Barbel predominantly in the summer, but also in the summer I like to spring in summer chase the tench. Tench are, you know, magnificent fish. And what I've found again is that the baits from Quest Baits, particularly the fruity baits, although they do like the larger spice as well, has been very effective for tench. And I've been using that in conjunction with the Quest method mix as well. And the beauty about the method mix is it's absolutely full of goodness, full of different components there that are all attractive to carp, to tench and to bream, and you can then personalise it as you want by adding the maximum action pellets, bits of boilies, dead maggots, that sort of thing to really you know, benefit you when you're out there on the bank.
We looked at the fishing that you've done in the summer now, but in the winter obviously, are your tactics changed for that, or do you use the similar sort of tactics all the way through?
No, I tend to, like, you know, most people, I scale things down in the winter as much as I can safely. And I will then move sometimes away from the barbel unless we've got a nice mild day where the water temperatures are rising towards chub. Love catching chub, and there's no finer sight than a you know, a 5 or 6 pound chub there on the bank. So I'll scale the line down, scale my hook lengths down, and probably use something like a straight lead and down to fluorocarbon hook length. But one of the things I've used really successfully is the maximum action pellets in a PVA bag. And whereas in the summer I tend to use a larger PVA bag, in the winter I'll come down to very, very small bags, something not a lot of people actually do, the size of maybe a 20mm boilie, so that I've got, you know, maximum attraction from the pellets to draw the fish in towards the paste bait without overfeeding them, without putting them off, and draw them to that paste hook bait. And this year we've been fortunate enough to have, you know, chub to well over 6 pounds, and throughout the summer barbel to over 13. And I know they can't compete, particularly on the barbel side, to the great big fish on the Great Ooze and maybe further down south. But to be honest with you, I'm fishing waters a million miles away from there. You know, I'm looking for virgin fish, but still fish that are attracted to the bait very quickly, even though they've never seen it before. And that to me is why, you know, why I use Quest Baits really.
Finally, then, I can't let you go before I ask you, obviously you've been successful with all these different species on Quest, but surely there must be one fish that stands out for the year above all the others for you.
And narrow it down to one fish, that would be a challenge, because I've had some lovely fish, you know, nice carp when I was out in France early in the year. It's probably taken me back to February when I had one of my normal sessions. I've got a very demanding job, I've got a very demanding, busy family, and I pulled up at 5:15 on the Upper Trent, pitch black, blowing a gale. Anybody in the right mind would be home, you know, in front of the fire. I knew I'd only got a couple of hours, got to go be back to put the kids to bed, and I managed to find a swim that I'd done well before. Dropped a bait in, similar tactics as before, very small PVA bag, paste on the hook, the Roger Spice, and within 15 minutes I'd got a 6-pound 2 chub on the bank. I packed up, I went home, and it was great because everything was against me. The conditions, the water temperature was dropping, and it just goes to show, you know, if you get out there and enjoy it, you've got good bait. And I knew I'd got a limited time scale, and I knew as long as I put it in the air of the fish, I got confidence in my bait, and that to me, you know, is everything. So if you were going to put me on the spot as you have, then